Dear students, so this is the third part of Unit 4, probably the last one. In this video, let us see anti-convergence. First, we see the classification. This classification is very important. Let us first see the chemical classes. First one is barbiturates. Barbiturates we earlier saw in sedatives and hypnotics. Hydantoins or hydantoins. Third class, oxazolidine diones. Fourth, succinimides. Fifth, urea and monoacyl ureas. Sixth one, benzodiazepines. You heard this name earlier. And there are miscellaneous agents. If you see barbiturates, you know the general structure of barbiturates. Again, I am drawing here. Please remember this one. See, NH2 double bond, C double bond O, NH2 is urea. This is a carbon again. This is a carbon. This is a carbon. Here, C double bond O, C double bond O. Substitution set, fifth position is the structure of barbiturate. And hydantoins. The basic structure of hydantoin will look like this. I am drawing it. It's a 5-membered ring. Here it is NH, NH, no double bonds, NH, NH here, C double bond O, C double bond O. This is the basic structure of hydantoins. If you see pyrazole, right, is it not looking like pyrazole but without double bonds and two ones, double bond O's. Okay, this is the structure of basic structure of hydantoin. This is very important to remember the basic structure so that you can easily remember the modifications in substituents. Then oxazolidines. Here comes, if you observe, all the structures are related to your heterocyclic chemistry chapter in organic chemistry 3. You learned all those 15 heterocyclic structures. They are coming into the play now. So what is oxazole? Again, 5-membered ring with oxygen and nitrogen as heteroatoms, and if you have two double bonds inside the ring, it is oxazole. But it is oxazolidine. Oxazolidine will look like this. Oxygen, nitrogen, so oxazolidine. Lidine because absence of double bonds. Diones, two double bond O, diones. Fine. Next we see the general structure of succinimide. Succinimide, you have carbon instead of other heteroatom in a 5-membered ring and two double bond O's. If you remember, it's like a tetrahydropyrrole with the two double bond O's. This is the general structure of succinimide. And urea, you know, earlier when we were writing barbiturates, I taught you the structure of urea. Urea will be like C double bond O, either side attached with NH2 and NH2. This is the structure of urea. Monoacyl urea means acyl group is attached to the urea. That is this one. And you know benzodiazepines. Earlier we saw the structure of benzodiazepines in last topic. Benzene ring fused with a diazepine. Diazepine is a 7-membered ring with the two nitrogen atoms. Here one double bond, and there is a double bond. Oh, this is the fifth position. Most of the times it is substituted with a phenyl group, but this one is the benzodiazepine basic nucleus. Okay, and miscellaneous things we'll see when we approach there. So let us see the classification. Classification includes barbiturates, hydantoins, oxazolidinediones, succinimides, urea and monoacyl ureas, benzodiazepines, and miscellaneous agents. What are the examples for barbiturates? Phenobarbital and metabarbital. Earlier we saw them in sedatives. They can be used as anticonvulsants also. Hydantoins, phenytoin, very important, mefenitoin, ethatoin. These three are the examples for hydantoins. Oxazolidinediones, the examples are trimethadione, paramethadione. Succinimides example, fensaximide, methoxamide, ethosuximide. Urea and monoacyl ureas, example, phenacimide, carbamazepine. And benzodiazepines, example, clonazepam. Miscellaneous agents include primidone, valproic acid, gabapentin, and felbamate. Anticonvulsants, these are, most of the people are aware that a common term called fits, and usually people, when they see someone suffering with fits, what they do usually outside, they will put some keychain or keys in their palm so that their shivering stops. But that is a kind of seizures. We can call them seizures or epilepsy or convulsions. So the drugs used to treat such conditions are called anticonvulsants. So let us see their chemical structures. There is no need of learning any synthesis for this particular topic. So let us first see barbiturates, that is phenobarbital and metabarbital. We have learned these structures earlier while we were dealing the topic called sedatives and hypnotics. And in phenobarbital, fifth position side chain will have a phenyl group. This is nothing but this ring, phenyl ring. Okay. Then metabarbital will have methyl group attached to nitrogen atom. Also, the side chain at fifth position, both are methyl groups. Then comes phenytoin. These all are hydantoins. Phenytoin is very important drug. Fine. It is a 5-membered ring with 2 nitrogens at 1,3 positions and 2 C double bond O carbonyl groups, and these are the side chains. 2 phenyl groups are attached at the fifth position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, it's a fourth position. Fine. Next, mefenitoin. What is the difference between phenytoin and mefenitoin? That's what our concern is. Here at nitrogen, one hydrogen is replaced with a methyl group, and here one phenyl group is replaced with ethyl group. That says it is mefenitoin. Here Me indicates methyl group, Phen is for phenyl group, and you should remember that one of the phenyl group is replaced with the ethyl group when it is compared with phenytoin. Ethatoin. Ethatoin has ethyl, where to the nitrogen in first place. Ethatoin. Fine. Next we see trimethadione and paramethadione. These two comes under oxazolidinediones. Oxazolidine. I earlier told you the general structure. That is oxygen. Nitrogen. So oxazole. 5-membered ring. Oxazole. Low D, oxazolidine. Idine because there are no double bonds. Okay, so oxazolidine with 2 C double bond O's is the general structure. Here trimethadione, because tri means 3 methyl. There are 3 methyl groups. One attached to nitrogen atom at first position and 2 other as side chains like substituents attached at fourth position. Fine. Then comes paramethadione. So here the difference is When we compare with the trimethadione, one of the methyl group is replaced with ethyl group, that becomes paramethadione. It could be remembered as trimethadione. In trimethadione we have three methyl groups. When it comes to paramethadione, one of the methyl group is replaced with ethyl group. Then comes succinimides. Succinimides, example fensaximide, methoxamide, ethosuximide. Fensaxamide is having phenyl group here. Both methoxamide and fensaxamide have phenyl groups. And in fensaxamide, only phenyl group and methyl group attached to nitrogen. In methoxamide, you have methyl group and methyl group is retained. Here one hydrogen is there. Instead of hydrogen, here it is a methyl group. So extra methyl group, so methoxamide. Ethosuximide, here ethyl group is there, so ethosuximide. And here you have to observe the difference. There is no CH3 and here it is CH3 as like in methoxamide, but you don't have CH3 here. Instead you have hydrogen in case of fensaxamide. Okay, these are little confusing. You have to practice well with the similarities and differences with utmost attention. Next comes phenazimide, carbamazepine. Both are the examples coming under the category urea and monoacyl ureas. Here, if you observe, this is the urea part, NH2, CO, NH2. Here, one of the hydrogen of this NH2 is replaced with this group. Fine. So, what is this group? This group is a phenyl ring with a methyl bridge and a carbonyl group. So, phenazimide. Why SE? SE indicates an acetyl group that is attached to a phenyl group. So, phenazimide. Amide. Amide. Where is amide? Amide is there, no? In urea. In urea you have amide group. So, phenazimide. Then comes carbamazepine. Carbamazepine. Here carba indicates carbonyl group. That carbonyl group, and this is a carbamide. So, and azepine indicates 5-membered ring with nitrogen as heteroatom. It's a 7-membered ring with nitrogen as heteroatom. Azepine, carbamazepine. It is further side by side fused with 2 phenyl rings. This is the structure of carbamazepine. Next comes clonazepam. Clonazepam comes under the category benzodiazepines. You know the structures of benzodiazepine. This is the benzene ring. This is the 7-membered azepine ring with 2 nitrogens at first and fourth positions. Okay, and clonazepam will have a chlorine to the phenyl ring that is at 5th position and nitro group at 7th position. Fine. Then comes miscellaneous agents. First one is primidone. It's somewhat looking like barbate, but you don't have C double bond over here. Fine. And here it is a phenyl group. This is a ethyl group. Valproic acid. It's simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pentanoic acid with a propane side chain at penultimate carbon is valproic acid. Gabapentan. It's a cyclohexane ring with 2 substituents. One is methylamine CH2NH2, other one is acetic acid CH2COOH. And gabapentan has many uses. It is used in treatment of partial seizures, restless leg syndrome, hot flashes, and neuropathic pain. Neuropathic pain is pain due to neuronal reasons. Next drug is felbamate. Felbamate is same cyclohexane having a side chain. Side chain, if you observe, this half of the side chain is similar to this half. CONH2. Here CONH2. Here CH2O, CH2O. An aldehyde, CONH2. Carboamide group, CONH2. So it is very easy to remember the structure of felbamate. Then we are done with the structures involved in the chapter, then we have to switch to our structure activity relationships. Here we need to see barbiturates with respect to anticonvulsant activity. With respect to anticonvulsant activity, here the numbering remains the same. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and fifth position have 2 alkyl side chains. This is the general structure, and let's see. So, if you need optimum activity of a barbiturate as an anticonvulsant, it should be substituted with the phenyl group at fifth position. At least any one of these two should be phenyl group. And 5,5 diphenyl derivative. That means if two phenyl groups are substituted in R1 and R2, that has less activity than one phenyl group substituted. Okay. If substituted with one phenyl group, that is having more activity than two phenyl groups at R1 and R2. Okay. Then nitrogen at position 1 and nitrogen at position 3. If they are substituted, there are some cases where both are substituted and they have shown good quantity of activity. Okay. Then 5,5 dibenzyl barbituric acid causes convulsion. I have clearly explained you what is phenyl group and what is benzyl. Right. I will show you again. Phenyl group is a benzene ring directly attached to some system is phenyl. But if to the same system a phenyl ring is attached with the help of a methyl bridge, it is called benzyl. So till now we have shown phenyl substitution. If the same is replaced with benzyl substitution, dibenzyl substitution, that will cause convulsion. Instead of treating, the drug itself cause the convulsion. That is what the statement is telling you. Okay, so the examples for barbiturates which are acting as anticonvulsants are phenobarbital and methobarbital. Fine. Let's see structure activity relationship of hydantoins. Hydantoins examples you remember: phenytoin, methphenytoin, ethatoin. Fine. The hydantoins are close structural relatives of barbituric acid, but the difference is that that is a 6-membered ring and these hydantoins are 5-membered rings. So they lack obviously the oxo group at 6th position. Fine. The lack of this carbonyl group decreases the acidity, so it is a weaker acid than that of barbiturates. Okay, barbiturates are more acidic than the hydantoins. Acidic property of the drugs comes into play when a protonation concept comes in, and that acidity determines the solubility of the drug to be absorbed through the intestinal gut. Here the numbering goes like this. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth position again having side chains. Okay. Fine. So fifth position, a phenyl group as a substituent, or instead of phenyl group, any other aromatic substituent is compulsory for the activity. So what he is saying, fifth position should have either phenyl or any of the aromatic substituent is very important for the activity. Then the second point comes in alkyl group. Alkyl group in fifth position contributes to sedation. Sedation means something like calming effect and drowsiness. Sedation. So this is a property. Sedation is a property which is absent in phenytoin. Phenytoin doesn't have alkyl group, no. It is having only phenyl group. So examples for hydantoins are phenytoin, methphenytoin, ethatoin. So the structure activity relationship points are very less, so it is very easy for you to remember. So the last topic is that we need to know the mechanism of action of anticonvulsants. Usually what happens? A normal neuron conducting the signal on stimulus, that means to convert any of the signal. Let us say there is a signal and neuron is a cell. So I am roughly drawing the diagram of neuron, and you know them. Very well. Okay. Please adjust. So this is the nucleus and all. Okay, there are two types of neurons. One is myelinated. Myelinated is one type and non-myelinated. This diagram is showing non-myelinated neuron type. How a myelinated neuron cell look like? It will have a myelin sheaths, and this will look like this. And when there is no myelin sheaths, the signal has to pass all through the surface, and signal transduction time will be more. But in case of myelinated cells, the ions will jump from here to here to here, here to here. So the signal transduction is fast. What usually happens if a signal needs to be passed from this point to till this point? What happens? The signal travels like this. Now here what happens at this point? Sodium ion and chloride ions, sodium plus and chloride minus, will go in. For exchange of two sodium ions, inside there are potassium ions. Potassium ions and other organic cations present inside the neuron will go out. For example, two sodiums comes in, and for the same, three potassiums are exchanged out. This will cause depolarization of the cell. This is the way how the signal is transducted. So the same happens after finishing here. This process after finishing at this point will be continued here, and likewise this will be done. So when a disease condition like epilepsy or convulsions or seizures happens, what is happening inside the neuron? In signal transduction, what is happening? Sodium is accumulated inside the cell. Sodium is accumulated. That means there is more depolarization of the cell. If sodium goes in more sodium going in depolarization. Depolarization means more excitement in the cell. More excitement means continuous triggering of the signal makes us shaky. That is the reason he will always shakes his limbs, head, neck, mouth and everything very rapidly. So the continuous signal triggering happens when sodium ions are concentrated inside the neuron. So these anticonvulsants act as sodium channel blockers. They will block the influx of sodium, and they will activate the mechanism which is biologically inactive will be activated, so that the sodium ions present inside are effluxed out. Okay, they are sent out, so that depolarization will be delayed and continuous triggers of the signal will be stopped and the normal activity is achieved. This is the way the anticonvulsant drugs are showing their mechanism of action. Let me read the few sentences I have made for you. So anticonvulsant drugs act as sodium channel blockers in nerve cells. In normal situation, sodium and chloride ions are in high concentration outside the cell, whereas potassium charged proteins and organic cations are more abundantly available in the cell. So that means potassium inside, sodium outside. When seizures occur, they cause sodium ion accumulation within the central neuron, inside the neuron. So it will do? Synaptic nerve transmission will be triggered continuously. Then comes the anticonvulsant drugs, how they act. So they decrease intracellular sodium concentration, so that they will efflux side by side. They will also efflux sodium ions present inside the neuron outside, so that the normalcy in the signal triggering path is achieved. Likewise, they will act. With this, we have completed Unit 4. In next video, we will start with Unit 5. And there are many types of seizures. They are classified epilepsies, and for that you will refer textbook of medical pharmacology by K.D. Tripathi. When I deal with pharmacology, I will try to explore more on this topic. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.